Hello and welcome to the PMQ webinar series. Today we have Branding Shorts with us. Thanks for joining us, Tony and Mickey Pagano, the co-founders of Branding Shorts. And today they're going to walk you through a presentation about how to boost sales with a video play button. And if you're familiar with the GoToWebinar control panel on your right, you'll know that you can ask questions of Tony and Mickey about their video presentation, and feel free to add those questions at any time. And if you want to send us any chats, you can also chat below the question section. So Tony and Mickey, hello, thanks for joining us.
Hi there.
Hey, hello. Thank you for the introduction, and thank you guys for taking time out of what I'm sure is a busy day to join the webinar on video. We'll talk to you guys a little bit about who we are, and obviously how we can help and we'll give you guys guidance should you want to look at video for your marketing efforts. And we'll talk about different types of videos. We'll talk about how they're used, as well as how you can create them on any type of budget, so that you can spend a lot of money making a video. You don't need to spend a lot of money making a video, and you can have it impact your business.
Okay.
So here's a little quick info just on who we are, so you guys know who's talking. Our background comes from big brand marketing and Madison Avenue creative, working with brands like Coca-Cola, American Express, Pizza Hut, McDonald's. We specialize in our video production company actually in the hospitality industry. We work with a lot of small businesses, and our goal is really to create powerful professional videos, and we do that from script to screen, so full production, or sometimes we may just edit, but we do the creative, the production, and so on. And the last thing you see on that page is our shameless self-promotion that we've been honored and been lucky enough to win a number of awards for the videos that we produce. And this is just a quick snapshot of some of the clients that we work with. We work with big brands, obviously in the pizza industry. On the top left-hand corner, you may be familiar with Baccio or Leprino Foods, the mozzarella cheese producers. We do a lot of work with those guys. We work with independent pizzerias. We work with neighborhood restaurants. We work with other chains like Dunkin' Donuts, and then we work in other industries. And we also like to work and help where we can. So on the bottom right, you'll see the American Cancer Society. So we actually create videos for them to help raise money to help the fight against cancer. So today what we'll do is we'll take you through a couple of these, these words you actually see on the screen here. We'll talk about, what it takes to make a good video, how you use a video, where you can use a video, why it's so important to create a video, to give you guys a little more background, should you be thinking about using video for your marketing efforts. So the first thing we'll talk a little about is why video. So there's a lot of ways to invest your marketing dollars. So why should video be one of the things you guys consider when you think about your marketing efforts? So that basically is a picture that basically says is about muscle, right? And what we say is video can really, especially today, put a lot more muscle in your marketing efforts. And a couple of the reasons why are on the next slide. So first of all, so basically, if you want to have folks find your restaurant, your pizzeria, your business, if you're a supplier online, and have a better chance than you do today, you try and use video. What statistics show is that video ranks sites 5 times higher if they're on your website. So Google has an algorithm, and if there's video on that website, you have a much stronger chance of being found by someone searching. Let's say they just type in pizza or restaurant in a particular city. And YouTube is such a large search engine as well. So even if you just have your video on YouTube, it's going to help people find you. And the second point actually goes a little bit more to that. Basically, there's over 1 billion users. So there's a lot of folks out there that are using YouTube. And when it comes to mobile, there's more people looking at YouTube in that 18 to 49 range, which may be a prime range for your clients, your customers, than any US cable network. And do they click on things when you have a video on it? The third item actually talks to that. So if you put a video in an email, like a lot of times you may put out an email about a promotion or something going on with your restaurant or your business, and you want someone to actually click and engage in that email, it's not easy. People get so many emails, but if you put a video in your email, you're going to increase the click-through rate by 200 to 300%. And then the next bullet basically talks about, are they actually going to make a decision? Are they going to buy? And we find, again, statistically, that there's a huge increase in the opportunity for your client or your guest to buy something if you do sell things online, if they look at a video. And lastly, it keeps people, you keep people there, you retain them. So as opposed to people going from like one website to another website, because I didn't really see anything, I read the text on this one, let me go look at another one, I didn't get enough information. If you put a video on that website, they're going to stay on your website. So what statistics show is that on average, people spend 2.6 times more on pages with video because it just engages them more. We'll talk about why as we go through this. Social media, in addition, here's some additional stats on social media. So many people, 500 people are watching Facebook videos every day. So video on social media is critical. We'll talk a little bit more to that. And they share it. So the big thing is people just don't watch it. But let's say somebody wants a recommendation for a supplier or a restaurant. Video will have that person say, I recommend this place. And you know what? Let me just send you the video. So in 1-2 minutes, they get it. They got you. They engage you. There's more shares if you use video. And then organic reach. So as opposed to like paid advertising with, for example, Facebook, just putting a video on Facebook, you're going to get 135% more in terms of the reach you get if you, again, use video.
So you see presentation to participation. So presentation is, a print ad or a billboard or a banner. That's presentation, and that's an ad that would be like a conventional advertising, print ad. But it's gone from presentation to, with video, participation, because when you have a video, people can participate and engage and interact with you. So they could actually interact by expressing an emotion on how they feel about your video. They could subscribe to your channel. They could share your video. They could mark it a favorite. They can make a comment and you can respond to it. They can embed it in their own site. So there's so many ways that video actually adds almost a 3-dimension to your message, your marketing message, versus a traditional print ad. So it's become more of a mobile world. So people are viewing their video in general, on their mobile devices, and they can share from there. So we have a couple of stats there. 68% of views are on a mobile device. 92% of viewers share their views from their videos from their mobile device, and 62% of viewers find you first through YouTube. Mobile is the best for brand awareness and engagement. So, so when you post it on your website and it also shows up on a mobile device, people can interact with that on the go.
Yeah, so let's say, again, you're just in a situation where somebody wants to order some lunch, ordering a pizza, for example, and they have their phone and they're someplace else and they're at a meeting or something. They can just go on their phone and they can pop that video in, and most of them are going to look at videos on their phone to get engaged. Maybe I should order from this place versus that.
So video makes an emotional connection because it engages people not only to watch, but to share, to remember, to act. And an emotional connection really means you connect with them on a human level. So you've stirred an emotion for them to keep engaged and remember you by. So here's another segment. It's like, where do you use your video? We get that question a lot. So here's limitless channels.
So once you guys create a video, there are so many different places to use it. So I mean, the top obviously is PMQ TV, or it's on the PMQ site. You can obviously use your videos. You could use it on your website. You could use it on social media. If you look in the top left-hand corner, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. Some people use video. Let's say they have a new product. If you look at below that where it says news, for a PR release, so you come out with something new. Maybe it's a new service you guys offer. We talked about the phone. If you're making a sales pitch, so example, we had mentioned the company Leprino or Bacio Cheese is one of our clients. We've created a number of videos for them actually to sell cheese into pizzerias that are loaded with testimonials, etc. And their sales force or the distributors then use it to show potential clients right away. And you'll see some other areas, email, etc. on the right side. So there's a ton of ways to use video, a ton of places. And the great thing about video is once you create it, you don't necessarily have to change it. So you don't have to
just continue using
use it and find another channel to use it.
And you can post an iPad in your store window, in your restaurant window with the video running. It's limitless.
So very cost effective in terms of using the same video in so many different places.
So what kind of videos to produce? There's so many. So here are a couple of examples. Video wallpaper for your website, recruiting videos to gain and gather employees' interests, testimonials, image, events, new product, investor pitch, client pitch, welcome message, anniversaries, training videos, fundraisers, product demo. So there's so many ways that you can use video.
Yeah, so for example, just to think about the industry that you guys are in, I'm in recruiting. So if you guys need you do delivery, you're looking for drivers or you're looking for staff. We are finding more and more that it's, the talent market is shrinking in terms of trying to get employees. So video is becoming a bigger tool that people are using to drive good quality staff into their restaurant, regardless of the kind of position. It'll just show why someone should work for them versus someone else. And obviously there's all other ways that, Mickey's kind of talked about.
So how to use your video. So you can use it on your website in a couple of examples of website videos, a video background for your website, testimonial videos, about us videos, a recruiting video, a product demo, a welcome message. Those are just a few of so many different ways you can use, so many different types of videos you can use on your website.
And the about us is kind of important because a lot of people like to know a little bit of history, and it kind of, again, we always look in marketing for differentiators. So to put a little about us video about you and who you are really helps resonate. Again, it differentiates you from a competitive restaurant, for example. So it's really key.
So here are a couple of tips for your website. We would recommend 2 minutes or less because people have a very short time span, attention span, and we've seen some stats where attention span starts to drop after two minutes. Placement on the landing page for stickiness and for search engine optimization. Optimizing videos with keywords. That's important so people can find you. So if you upload it to a YouTube, there's a section in YouTube for keywords. Put those keywords in. Any way people might be searching for you, your name, the type of food you serve, the type of dishes, the city you're in. So those are really helpful. And an engaging title too, so which would make people actually click on it once they're on YouTube or Vimeo or wherever you're posting it. And then it's really important to select a great video image to actually engage people even further. We like to say, put a face in that so there's a human connection. But you can also have a really enticing, appetizing image of food. So a really beautiful, engaging thumbnail is important. And here's an example of video. You can actually watch this video. We have a PMQ page at our website that shows a couple of videos that feature pizza. But this is one we had done for an Intezo pizza bar in New York City. And what this video is, it's about 2 minutes, and it's actually less than 2 minutes. And it contains integrated branding. It shows the neighborhood the restaurant's in. It's got the menu items because they serve pizza and pasta. There's action shots, quick cuts, dynamic music. It shows the happy staff, happy customers, reviews, catering options, delivery takeout service, their address and their website. All of that is in less than 2 minutes. So that's one example, and you can actually see that on our website at your convenience. So social media. So what would you post on social media that's different than your website? Well, social media really is more about shorter videos, more shareable videos. So we call them snackable moments. Let's say you want to show something, an enticing piece of pizza that with a stretch, a really dramatic, you know, like eye candy kind of something like that you can post, or an engaging story. Maybe it's a 30-second little story about, you know, how you make pizza, or about the history of your restaurant. Maybe it's a really quick recipe or a tip. Maybe it's something fun or funny, or maybe it's the condensed web video. So there's so many things, but it's the key is short and engaging, so it's shareable. And then
one of the things we recommend too is leverage your employee base. So again, we talked about video. We'll talk more about it being very cost effective. You may have different employees that do have different functions, whether it's someone who's, you know, making the pizza, or someone serving it, or someone making drinks, or a host or a hostess, or delivery people. And the odds are most, if not all, of these people may have a Facebook page. So what we often say when we work with restaurants is have your, you know, tell your employees, and even sometimes the employees are actually in the video, we see often too. And everyone wants to be a YouTube star today. So what they can do is just obviously post the video on their Facebook page. That illustration you see on this page then is just an example of different folks that may work in a restaurant having their own network, and if they post it, these other folks that they're connected to get it, and then they connect with other people that get the video. So it's a really cost-effective way to get the word out and spread and increase that reach, because we talked about Facebook being such a great tool with so many people watching so many videos, that it's great to use it and leverage your network.
so we have something called a video sell sheet.
Yeah, so what this is it basically, let's say you have your restaurant and your basic image video or overall video. We talked about this company in Atezzo a little earlier. But you may also have a business where you have a private party room where people can rent out for a kid's birthday party or something. Or someone in a business, in a corporation, may want to order 30 pizzas for a meeting, or have a private party where they need to order a bunch of pizzas. A lot of people may have separate menus. You may have a separate video for that, you know, for a catering or a party type event. So we've done these before, and what can you show? You can show the food, like the way the food is packaged or put together for a bigger venue or bigger party, and the different options folks have. You can show the friendly staff working a party inside your party space, or how does it work if it's catered? I mean, you guys get involved where things go out to a house or a business, and folks actually go out there and help set up the service or set up the venue with the food. So maybe pizza, you may have other food as well, that other than the pizzas on your menu, that you set up for and you work with the client. Client testimonials are so powerful. So you could obviously include like someone eating at your restaurant, at a party, even in your basic video. You could do that obviously in your About Us video, but in a catering video where maybe it's a bigger potential ticket for you guys or check for you guys, you could get one or two folks to say, well, this is the greatest event. I love this pizza. I love the way this is set up. And obviously you could do the same thing with somebody's house. Well, I love how these guys set it up. They set it up. They made it so easy for me. So there's all different things you can highlight, and you can put, obviously you can show your restaurant space. So if someone has to actually drive to your restaurant to see it, they'll see it on the video, like this is the party, this is the way it looks. And that totally differentiates it. I know we just had a little party for our kid, and one of the things that we were looking at different places to cater it. And when you look at it, it's so much easier as opposed to just looking at like a printed menu or going online and just reading text. If I can just hit a play button and it takes me inside what a party is like at that place, or what it looks like if they cater. And I'm probably going to be more, maybe lean towards the place that's going to give me more information and engage me more. And that's where video really makes it work when you guys have this, this bigger opportunity for business, in addition to just, let's say, families or folks coming to your restaurant. The other thing I would add to, and we've done a bunch of these as well, is more a B2B where you're a supplier. So let's say like Leprino or Bacio cheese, you're a supplier to businesses, or you supply other products to businesses. Maybe they're oils, maybe they're vinegars. It could be anything. It could be clothing. It could be hospitality uniforms. A video is just an incredible sales tool to engage a business in a really quick amount of time. It's a great tool for direct sales force to engage a prospect and get a meeting by sending an email to say, hey, I'd like to set up a meeting, and you're inside there. You get to look at the video real quick. You share the video with other people in the corporation, and it's a great meeting opener. So when you get into that room, if you're pitching something, even if you're a restaurant, it doesn't have to necessarily be a business like, let's say, a cheese supplier. What a great way to start a meeting. And below that, you can see why, because it quickly takes the viewer behind the scenes. Here's the folks in our company talking about why we're special, why we're different, what we offer. Here's a peek of the quality process that makes the product or the dish. And then, like I mentioned before, client testimonials. You can also include great client testimonials and have them on screen. You can't, it's impossible to do this in text. It's impossible. You're not going to actually bring people into the meeting with you to say how great you are. But in a video, you can do this in 2 minutes. And the last thing, if you do have a sales force and a bunch of people selling, or different people selling for you, and everybody who sells for you may have a different style, the video will keep your brand message consistent. So you will communicate the same thing, emphasize the same thing. You don't have to worry about what this salesperson said versus that salesperson. The key message is going to come across all the time on a consistent basis.
And here's an example of, and you can actually watch this at our website, which we have a dedicated page for videos that feature pizza. So this is an example of one video sales sheet we had done for Bacio cheese, and the video is about 3 minutes, and it was used as a sales tool for the sales force to go one-on-one to actually gain interest for their cheese. So what this video features is integrated branding, key selling points, testimonials, product demo, products in use, product facts, unique selling point, their product benefits, a brand message, a call to action. For example, they were very proud of how their cheese stretches and how it cooks without burning. So things like that were in there, and that was used by their sales force to go out one-on-one to sell in their cheese to prospective customers.
Yeah, I think to Mickey's point is it may be things like the cheese melt or the cheese stretch. It's really hard to show those things with just a picture or text, but the video totally brings this to life, and I find it as a very powerful tool. We've done a number of videos, for these guys, even things like recruiting videos and anniversary videos and on and on. So because video is such a powerful tool and get that consistent brand message for all. I think before we go to the next slide, I would ask, we're going to get into a little bit more about creating a video, the key components that make a video pop and really powerful, and then a little bit more about how you can do it really cost effectively and the different ways you can do it. But I would ask if anybody has any questions. I don't know if we want to open it up, Sarah Beth, to see if anybody at this point has any questions on what we've gone through so far.
Sure, absolutely. Just a reminder, in the control panel, you should be able to type your questions, and we'll see them come up, and we'll just relay those questions to Tony and Mickey. So if those come in, Tony and Mickey, I'll break in and ask
Cool.
those questions.
Yeah,
Otherwise, we do have some questions we'll ask you at the end of the presentation.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
We have just a comment. Great actionable content. Thanks, from Albert Grande.
Awesome.
Oh, thank you so much, Albert.
So go ahead.
So here we go. Video production on any budget. I mean, there is a perception that it's really expensive. It's going to cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, but you can actually do it on just about any budget. So, and we'll show you how. And as we go through this, towards the end, we'll also share the do's and don'ts of good video tips. So, the production options. So the first production option, the least amount of money you can spend, it's probably mostly free. is you leverage your current assets. You shoot, you edit, you use your own photos, your own iPhone images, video, and you edit it yourself. The second tier is you shoot and you have a professional editor edit it. And then the third tier is you have a professional full production from script to screen. So those are the three things we're going to cover here. So the first one is leverage your current assets. You shoot, you edit. So you have some photos, you have some video clips that you took with your iPhone, or you just have. You have your logo, that maybe you have access to some music, and you add your own commentary, your own title design. And you can edit it yourself with like either iMovie or Windows Movie Maker. There are other options out there. These are just two examples. And then you would edit it yourself. The pro of working with this is it's free and you're in complete control. It's free. The cons is like it takes a learning curve and it takes time to edit. So those are the two things. It's a learning curve and it takes time to edit if you're not familiar with this editing software. But the pro is that it's free. The second one is you shoot and you have a professional editor edit it. So you supply a professional editor with your photos, some video clips, the logo, your music request, and what copy you want to add. So for example, like what a professional editor would do with that is actually create a story flow, clean up and color correct the footage, or the images, and actually put some moves on the photos and make them come to life. They actually would have probably access to royalty-free music, because music is a key element. But music, you can't just use any music you have because there's a copyright notice on it. So there are banks or subscriptions for royalty-free music. Such as we have a subscription. We have contracts with a music house also. And then they would design cinematic titles that would look more, professionally designed title cards and fonts and, and text that go along with your story. So that's the second tier, which is you shoot and a professional editor edits.
So we want to talk briefly about is we do both full production, script to screen, and then we do sometimes just edit. And one of the challenges we always had was people would send us so many different emails, some with photos, some with video clips, some with a logo in another email. Somebody has a soundtrack and music. Somebody has lines of text. And it was always a challenge, like I'm going to put all this stuff and I'm going to make a video, and it's tough for the user because they got to come up with all these emails, remember what they sent us and track it, and did they not send this? So we actually created a patented program, web app called Branding Shorts Express. So we're going to give you guys just 2 quick seconds on that now, just to let you guys know how that works. But what our whole goal was to make it very easy for the user to supply the information and actually have it professionally edited, not a machine edited. So this is an example of what it is. And basically, it's a very easy to use interface. You get guidance on it, so people will kind of fill you in on, you can get information on the screen and how to use it, what to supply. To Mickey's point, you have a soundtrack or a library, but it's professionally edited with the audio, etc. It's very cost effective. You create cinematic titles, and more importantly, again, it's a person on the end, and we make it easy on the front end to send it, and then there's a person actually editing it. So that was a problem we saw just in the video production world, is why we created this to potentially make it easier for folks that want to create a video for the first time.
So here we have a couple of tips. If you're going to be shooting on a smartphone and shooting your own content, here are a couple of tips. Shoot in landscape mode for cinematic effect. Use two hands or a tripod to avoid that shaky look. So we have something smooth, and move slowly. If you're going to pan, you just do a slow move. You avoid grainy shots by not using the zoom to just get closer instead. When you use a zoom, it adds more pixels, so it makes it grainy and not low resolution video footage quality. So get closer instead. You can use an airplane mode to avoid getting notifications while you're shooting. You make sure you shoot in good light. Try to avoid backlit and low light situations because it ends up in grainy footage or sometimes a silhouette effect. Get a higher quality audio. Audio is so important to a quality video. It's sometimes undervalued. Quality audio is extremely important. So there are plugins for your iPhone. You can actually get a professional lavalier for your iPhone. You can go to B&H and you can find it's like Rhodes is one of them. And then you can actually have a couple of fun lens attachments to give a wide angle, long lens, and these are relatively inexpensive to buy. So these are things you can add value to that add value to your image. So these are just a couple of tips.
Yeah, and this is just a follow-up of the web app that we talked about. Should you want to find something like this where you can get it professionally edited, on the left side you'll just see a menu bar, and the very first thing you see is the word photo. So this is just how you would enter things. You would just click on these little things on the icon on the left-hand side, and to Mickey's point, the quality photos are key. The quality video clips, especially audio, are key. And this just gives an example of if you wanted to use an app like this, how this one particular one works. And at the very bottom, you'll see that little box that say tips. Basically, what I mentioned before is you click on that and you would get information to help you. How do I get the best photo? What Mickey just talked about. What's the best way to look at text? Loading my logo, selecting music, etc.
So the last segment here of the 3 tiers is the professional full production script to screen. In this scenario, you would have a professional creative development done. First, based on your key message, there would be a script or an outline created for story flow, and just so your message gets across in a script. So everything is planned out, and there's a shot list developed from that, and then we have a crew. A crew goes with a professional equipment to shoot at your location, and you have pro audio, you have pro lighting, you have a professional editor, and you have access to, professional editor who has access to lots of music, that royalty-free music, and deliver a high quality video that is on your brand message, that delivers the message you want it to deliver. So that's the third option. It's the most expensive, but that is the most polished professional video that delivers a message. So that's the third one. So now we're going to talk about a couple of secrets to successful video.
Yeah, so we'll give you guys a couple of keys on this, and then we'll just open it up for more questions.
Begin with the end in mind. What do you want your video to achieve? For example, who are you talking to? Who's your audience? What do you know about them? What is your message? What are you telling them? Make sure it's crystal clear what you're telling them. What action do you want them to take? Make sure that's clear too. And what's the personality of your brand or your restaurant? What is it? Is it a fun place? Is it sophisticated? The video should reflect that personality in the music and the pace and the imagery. So it should all embody who you are as a restaurant, as a company, as a brand. So a couple of don'ts, video blunders that we see is too much or not enough promotion, a video that's too long, no clear audience, no clear message, boring, information overload, trying too hard to go viral, confusing concept, and poorly produced. And here's a couple of tips, do's for a successful video. Keep it short, moving, keep it informative, entertaining, professional, message-driven, branded, and authentic. Meaning it's genuine and it's not really overly selly. So those are a couple of tips.
I think just to add, I can go back to the previous slide to what Mickey was talking about, the information. One of the things to think about if you guys bring in video companies to do marketing is there's so much information you may want to get across at first about your business, but it's really thinking about how do you hone that message, and do you create a basic website video and then maybe what we call a pull-out video. So a lot of times what we do with our clients now is we'll go on to a video shoot, but we'll actually capture more video footage than we need for the video.
But we plan that ahead of time.
But we plan it ahead of time, because what it does is it's very cost effective for the client. They don't have to bring us out for another video shoot, but we can take the information we have and the video footage we have and create that little 2-minute video. But then we can pull things out where they may want to just do 15 seconds of something on Instagram. Like, maybe in a pizza restaurant, pizzeria, case, it's the pizza being flipped or the sauce being put on or being served, the happy face. And you could create these little 15-second or so Instagram videos in addition to maybe pulling things out and creating things like Facebook videos. So I think that's the challenge is there's always so much you want to say on that first video. So you want to think about it more strategically to say, okay, I'm going to use this in my website video, but I can pull these things out and use them other places. So with that, I think we want to open up to questions. At the very bottom of this page, you'll see a little discount code if you guys, for some reason, want to experiment or try video for the first time. There's that's the website for the web app. I'll give you more information on that. But we're happy to work with PMQ and provide a discount should someone want to use that web app where they supply content and we have a professional editor on the back end. But we want to thank you guys very much, because again, I'm sure you have many other things going on running your business, for taking time out, and we want to, I guess, open it up for questions.
Great presentation, Tony and Mickey. We appreciate that, and appreciate the code for our listeners. And you should definitely go check that out. That looks really cool. The Branding Shorts Express, where you can sort of do a plug and play and get a video. So. You answered the first question I had. We had some questions from our followers. How do video packages work? And can we get a commercial style video and also something for social media? So you're saying that you could do one shoot and over time sort of create different types of videos for pizzerias or suppliers.
Yeah, one of the things we find is sometimes we'll go in for if you bring in a video production company, you work with them and you strategically figure out what you want to see in that video that you're bringing them in for. But you should also have a conversation with them and say, you know what, I may want to have a Facebook video or two, or I may want to have some videos for Instagram, and tell the video production company that on the front end, so you don't need to bring them in a second time for a video shoot, because that'll be much more cost effective for you guys. So you guys could work out an outline and say, okay, this is the main video I want, but you know what? I want 5 videos for Instagram. And they'll plan that when they're out there with the video shoot to capture that video. It may be part of the overall video capture. It may be okay, while we're here, let's take a little video shot of this or that. And when we've done things in the restaurant industry, there's another client, a non-pizzeria called Larry's, the Prime Rib restaurant, where we actually took a lot of video footage. They wanted to do a bunch of training videos, so we did a bunch of video for them. We did an investor pitch video to sell our concept. And then all of a sudden they called us in and said, you know what, we want to do a TV commercial in Chicago for the Chicago market. We didn't have to do a video shoot. We said, you know what, we have all this video footage already. We could just take some of this, edit it down, and we'll put some title cards in it and do a little voiceover, and you have a commercial. So
now, is that something that they the video professional would work with the pizzeria to help them figure out what would be best for them to do?
Yeah, you want to, as the restaurateur or the restaurant owner, you want to think about, your business, right? And say, like, what am I trying to energize more? Am I trying to do more social media? I think my clients resonate with social media. Is it the website that I want to put something like an About Us video on? So you want to have that conversation up front with the video production company and say, yeah, I want to really start to leverage video. It could be, we do staffing videos, so it could be anything. But what you want to do is have it up front, because you don't want to have to pay them unless it's, let's say it's a whole different location, a whole different setup. Obviously, you can have more than one video shoot. But if you bring them in for a video shoot, you want to maximize it and get as much as you can. And if you can define your objectives and your target audience as best you can, the video production company should be able to help you with that. And so one of the things you want to do is, obviously, when you look at a video production company, you want to take a look at some of the stuff they've done before. Have they done social media? Have they done website videos, just to make, even to back up, you're bringing in the right company to work with you.
So here's a good question. Considering I know you're located in New Jersey and PMQ, we're located in Mississippi. How does it work to be located near a Branding Shorts team?
Well, we do videos all over the country, in fact, all over the world. So, we basically can work where we just edit video footage. So we can work with somebody on the phone and say, okay, what are you guys looking to do? And Mickey gave the examples of, you shoot, we edit. So we can just do that and work with you creatively to gather stuff and give you tips on an iPhone. We're working with a client now, actually. We're based right across the river from New York City in Hoboken, New Jersey, the home of a lot of pizza here, the home of Frank Sinatra. So, but we are working with a client where they came in from Boston to do a video shoot, but then they're going to shoot some of their own video with their iPhone. And we're going to add that. So
give direction on how to, what to do.
Exactly. We always work with them to create an outline of what, of the video to meet their objectives. Because one of the things we always say about videos, we can create something really cool that looks great, but if it doesn't get across your business objective, who cares? Right? So we want to be very clear to make sure we cover it and hit it up front, because Mickey has this great saying when she used to do TV spots with Coca-Cola, is like she never wants to go to a how come meeting.
Never want to go to a how come meeting, because you want to plan everything ahead of time and make sure you've covered all your key points, make sure the message is the message you want to get through, and make sure you have a really strong call to action so people know what to do, or where to go at the end of the video. You see so many beautiful videos, but if there's no message, people won't remember it. And if it doesn't make that emotional connection,
right,
it's not going to connect.
Right. It's the biggest point. You never want to be in a meeting with someone saying, how come it looks like that?
Or,
right? So you always want to be.
What happened to that information?
But,
right.
But back to your initial question too, so we can work with somebody creatively anywhere in the country. We could edit anywhere in the country. We also have videographers that are stationed in different cities around the country, like Chicago and Dallas and in the Carolinas and LA and San Francisco. So we don't have to fly people across the country if somebody wants a full production. So we can work with them creatively, set it up, and then we can look at, if we just edit the information, and then they can also we work with them creatively to help them think through stuff if they want to use their iPhone and go through something like the Branding Shorts Express product. Our goal is to make it as easy as possible for them to create a video and create a really powerful video regardless of their experience level or their budget, et cetera.
So it sounds like you've sort of answered another question I had here. Would Branding Shorts write the script for a video, and would the client have input? It sounds like it's really a collaboration, and you either give them as much guidance or as little guidance as they need.
Yeah, basically what we do, the process that we have is that we actually we set up a question, and we actually have a questionnaire, but we actually set up a meeting with our client that go through questions like, for example, what's the objective of the video? Who's your target audience? What do you want their takeaway to be? What do you want them to do? What's your key selling point or unique selling point? Things like that. We go through these series of questions that help us to really craft a really strong message that could be delivered in less than 2 minutes. And we craft this message, we write an outline, and we work together with our clients to make sure the outline is strong and it meets all of their key messages. And we have a story flow that, we can time out to say, okay, this is going to take about 2 minutes or 1.5 minutes to deliver this information. And then we create a shot list from there. And then we schedule the shoot. So everything is, it's like a blueprint it's a blueprint for the video. So that's basically how we have it. Yes, we do work hand in hand, based on their information and our meetings and collecting information. And then we work on the creative and deliver something that we can get some feedback on and then use it as a blueprint.
Yeah, and I think the biggest point, I think the good way to think about that is it's a blueprint, because when we go in and we do interviews or we talk to people to put them on for people speaking on camera, et cetera, whether it's like the staff, whether it's a client or a guest, you never know what they're going to say. So you don't want people to memorize things, because it doesn't come off, as Mickey said, you want authenticity. Nobody wants to seem like they're being sold to in a video. They want people to be real, right? So even though obviously it is selling, it's marketing. So a lot of times you want to leave it loose, and we'll ask questions so they can actually come up with things that you may not even anticipate, that may be nuggets
But make sure those nuggets are
fit
really
into the blueprint.
right. Really address a key point.
Exactly.
Or deliver a key point.
Well said. So I think that's why the term blueprint is important when we think about creative.
And having been involved in so many videos here at PizzaTV and PMQ, I always tell people on camera, don't worry, it'll be edited. You don't have to be a professional actor in order to be part of the video. But some people are more wary to be on camera. You don't. A person wouldn't have to be interviewed on camera in order to have a video. You could work with the assets of the restaurant.
Absolutely, we can actually create a video without a person on camera speaking, and it still deliver the information through dynamic titles, through imagery, through music, through a voiceover. So there's so many ways we can get at that.
The two example videos that I think Mickey put out on there's a link in the presentation or the site in the presentation. One is exactly that, where no one's talking on camera, and then in the Tezo video, it's all pictures and music and moving and cuts. The Leprino or the Bacio cheese, you'll see people talking on camera. So and they both work. So it's up to the brand and what they want to do.
Cool. I had a couple more thoughts based on your presentation. You were talking about all the ways to use video. I know some of our clients have used video for their trade show booths to play on a TV within their trade show booth, and they've really enjoyed having something that's visual that people can watch as they walk through a trade show like NRA or where it's so many people and so many booths. It kind of helps you stand out.
No, I agree. And in fact, Leprino or Bacio, if you've gone to some of the pizza shows, you'll see some of our videos. Because what they'll do is they'll run a video on the overall company. It might be the one that we have in the link here. But what we've also done, we talked about doing versioning or pull-out videos. We've done actually like individual testimonials. So there's a pizzeria in Boston called Crazy Dough. I think they were voted best pizza in the country 1 or 2 years at one of the pizza shows. But they are a pull-out where it's just this customer testimonial for Bacio. But then there's the overall, and they run both at the trade show. So definitely trade shows are a great way to grab attention when people are walking by and it's crowded and there's so many people. We do a lot of that.
So you touched on this a little bit in your presentation, but I was wondering, what would you say is the life of a video? Like, once you've made a video, can you sort of count on being able to use that for a couple of years, or is it more of an immediate message that needs to be updated?
Well, yeah, it's both, but we have clients who have been using videos for the past 6 or 7 years, the same video.
But you can version it. Well,
sometimes we've had videos where we update it, like somebody leaves and then we just replace it with another person or just cut that person out. We've had many things like that too. Yeah,
so we create a video, and to Mickey's point, we update it. If somebody changes or a statistic changes, where the sales are bigger, so we can always update it. The other thing I would say is
we start over from scratch.
Exactly.
You just modify.
You can modify. The other thing I would say is too, when we create videos, sometimes we look for things like that aren't going to date it. So like if there's certain things they say, like last year we were this, it may not make sense, right? Because what if it's 2 years from now? So we'll look for things to make it sure it is timeless from a client perspective, so they don't have to go do a reshoot or a re-edit. But if a staff changes or their statistic change, then they may want to do some revisions.
So just a message to the attendees, we have about 10 minutes left. If you want to add any questions to the control panel, we'll relay those to Tony and Mickey. Let's see. Would you say that it would be important for, if someone wanted to make their own video, to invest in a video camera, or are all smartphones pretty much capable these days of capturing good video?
I think if you have a pretty good quality smartphone, you can get some pretty good quality video. I mean, sometimes, and there's been, some of the later model versions of iPhones have better video quality than some small camcorder that you would buy, or equal, just on par with it. So yeah, I mean, your iPhone could take some pretty good pictures, and the later ones you can shoot in higher resolution too. So yeah, your smartphone can capture some pretty pretty good quality videos and photos.
Yeah, and I would almost recommend, if you haven't done video before and you want to kick it around and you don't want to invest a ton of money, why not start that way, right? So start that way, and I mean, you can go to a professional editor, you can have your own software, and Mickey said, try and edit yourself. But there's different ways to do it. You use the app that we talked about that we came out with. So there's a lot of different ways to do it, but you don't have to necessarily invest in a camera or a videographer if you just want to start to kick around video and see how it works and play around with it. And then if it seems like it's working for you and you want to do more, you could get full production, you could do a little bit more, and you can go from there.
Great. So one more question that we had here was, once you're done with the videos, does the client get the video and they can use however they want, or how does that work?
Yes, if we produce it, yes, the client gets the video. They can do whatever they would like. They get a video file delivered to them, and they can use the video however they want. So it's not, some companies have some kind of leasing thing. We don't do that. We don't believe in that. So once the video is
time restraint on that, like it's yours for this.
Exactly. It's theirs to keep and use, in unlimited ways, for unlimited years.
Yeah, but that's a great point, because that's a question. If you guys look for video production companies that that you want to work with, that's the way we work. But you want to make sure you ask that question to other companies. Do you own the video? Do you own? Do you have the video footage? For example, I'll give you an example. A lot of times we get called in by people that use Yelp because they want to create a video, and then we say, well, can we get the video footage you shot in Yelp because you want to redo the video and add this or that? And Yelp will sell them the video, but they're not going to sell them the video footage. And just to get the video, you can't really do anything with it. But because if you want to edit pieces of it, you need the raw video footage. So, and I'm not saying this to sell against Yelp. I guess what I'm saying is everybody has a different model. And if you're thinking about you want to get video footage that you can use later, there's different things you want to think about. If you're thinking about, I just want to go get a video to use one time via Yelp, that's great. So that's all you do, and you got your video.
And I believe that they don't give you the video file.
They don't
give you a video file, so you have to, use their link. So you don't get the video file to use however you want to use it.
Yeah. So I guess the point is, there's all different ways different companies work. You guys just want to say, like, if you want the video footage, you want to be able to use it later, because you may want to do other things with it. That's great. You go one way. If you want someone to just create a video, it's one time. You don't care about the video footage down the line. You don't want to own it. That's another way. So there's all different ways to go. But our suggestion is, especially with all these channels that are out there with video, is to give yourself as much flexibility as possible to take advantage of your video footage later.
I know that video has become such a big thing on social media. On Instagram especially, it's really gone up in the past few years. And I think all pizzerias should be making sure to do what they can to have a good social media presence, because that's really where a lot of the younger generations are finding out about businesses and about restaurants in their area. So you have to be aware of that and keep up with the times. So I wanted to remind everyone that the handout from today's presentation is also in the control panel, and you'll be able to download that. And Mickey and Tony, do you have any sort of final thoughts? We appreciate the discount code. It's PMQ20 for a 20% discount code at brandingshorts.com/express. Mickey and Tony, do you have any sort of parting words for our attendees?
No, we thank you guys for taking time out. Like I said, we know we work with a lot of restaurants, and we know you've got a very tough and busy business. So we thank you guys for taking time out to invest in the time to hear about video, and we want to thank PMQ again for giving us the opportunity to do that. And if you have questions, obviously you can check out our website and email us questions if there's other questions that come up after this webinar.
So we have one last comment in the question section. Thanks again. What I enjoyed most was the fact you gave pizzeria and restaurant owners a great seminar. Also from Albert Grande. So thanks, Albert.
Thank you so much.
Hey,
And
thank
so
you.
all of the contact information is at brandingshorts.com to get in touch with you. They can email, they can call,
Sure. Exactly.
right? And follow you on social media. Check out some of your other videos. I've seen quite a few of them. Very nice work, and all different types of work too. Some more commercial, some more storytelling. I think you do a great job of offering a wide variety.
No, thank you. Yeah, you just said the magic words right there. That when we talk about people, when we talk about video, it all comes down to storytelling, regardless of what it is, right? That's how you engage people. So that's exactly what we strive for.
Every story is unique. Every pizzeria's story is unique. So I think you can really relay that very well through video more than any other platform.
No, thank you. Yeah,
Thanks
thank you
a lot,
guys
Tony
again.
and Mickey.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thanks, everybody.
Okay, is it click there?
Right. Thanks, Tony, Mickey. We're signing off from the webinar. Thanks, everyone, for attending.
All right. Thank you,
so
everyone.
much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay.